Before lobster became associated with luxury and gourmet meals as we know it today, did you know that it was once considered a poor man's delicacy? Shocking, right? Did you also know that lobsters have many jaw-dropping secrets that will leave you shell-shocked? No pun intended. Well, get ready for mind-blowing revelations like you've never seen before. Welcome to Foodiepedia, the place to feast on food knowledge served super fresh for everyone. In today's video, we'll take a closer look at lobsters, an expensive delicacy with a long and mysterious past and an uncertain future. We'll uncover the lesser-known facts about this yummy seafood goodness that will undoubtedly leave you stunned, from their bizarre origin to the surprising shades of colors they display like a chameleon, and their probable extinction from the earth. We'll explore the incredible secrets concealed within these intriguing crustaceans. So, be prepared to be amazed and entertained as we unveil the hidden wonders of lobsters that will change the way you look at these fascinating creatures forever. When it comes to the interesting world and origin of lobsters, it can be traced back over 500 million years to the prehistoric era, making them one of the most ancient inhabitants of the earth. These resilient crustaceans have withstood the test of time, adapting and evolving through various environmental changes across the ages. Fossil records indicate that ancient lobsters roamed the seas during the Jurassic period, even preceding the reign of the mighty dinosaurs. Fossil evidence also suggests that lobsters in their primitive forms looked quite different to the ones we're familiar with today. Over time, they've adapted to various environmental changes and developed the features that make them successful marine predators. That's why many people call lobsters living fossils, due to their ancient lineage and relatively unchanged body plan. Despite their tough appearance, lobsters are sensitive to environmental changes, which makes them important indicators of ocean health. One remarkable aspect of lobster evolution is their ability to survive in a range of habitats, from shallow coastal waters to deep ocean floors. Their exoskeletons or shells provide protection and support, and they must periodically molt to grow. This molting process is a critical part of their lifestyle. Interestingly, during their early days, lobsters were relegated to being perceived as the poor man's food. This misconception stemmed from their abundance and ease of catch, as they were readily available to coastal communities. Fishermen viewed lobsters as a convenient and inexpensive source of sustenance, often using them as fertilizer for crops or bait for fishing. In fact, during the colonial era and beyond, lobsters were so dirt cheap that they were fed to prisoners, apprentices, slaves, and even children. In Massachusetts, some clever servants inserted conditions into their contracts to limit their lobster consumption to just twice a week in an attempt to escape the monotony of their lobster-rich diets. Talk about a lobster extravaganza. It wasn't until the mid-19th century that the perception of lobsters began to shift dramatically. With the advent of better transportation and railway systems, fresh seafood, including these delectable lobsters, could be transported to inland cities and upscale markets. This newfound accessibility elevated lobsters from humble coastal fare to a delicacy enjoyed by the wealthy elite. Renowned chefs and culinary enthusiasts started experimenting with lobster recipes, adding a touch of sophistication to these once unassuming creatures. Lobsters soon found their way to upscale restaurants and grand banquet halls, where they were prepared using elaborate cooking techniques and served with lavish accompaniments. Restaurants skillfully prepared different species of lobster, from the American and European varieties to Norway, Cape, and other delectable types. But the American lobster is a popular favorite, cherished for its sweet and succulent meat. This sought-after delicacy is commonly found along the Atlantic coast of North America, from Canada to the northeastern United States. It's also a beloved staple in seafood menus, particularly in New England cuisine. As time went on, lobsters solidified their place as a symbol of luxury and opulence. Their exclusivity in urban areas further added to their appeal, making them a prestigious status symbol. It'll also interest you to know that a popular lobster dish known as lobster thermidor, which is basically a French delicacy featuring lobster meat cooked in a rich wine sauce, then stuffed back into its shell and served with oven-browned cheese crust, typically Gruyere, was among the last meals served at the Titanic dinner before the ship's tragic sinking. Today, lobsters are celebrated as one of the most sought-after and revered seafood delicacies, gracing the plates of connoisseurs in high-end establishments worldwide. And the most expensive lobster dishes include four-shoe lobster, known as the Rolls-Royce of lobsters, and the zillion-dollar lobster frittata. These dishes are commonly found in many high-class restaurants in New York City and could cost up to $2,000 per plate. Now, apart from the fact that lobsters have seen the rise and fall of mighty dinosaurs and have managed to keep their cool claws intact through it all, do you know that they literally have an entire wardrobe of colors? Forget that classic red look you see at fancy restaurants. In their natural habitat, lobsters flaunt different colors like blue, yellow, and even orange. That stunning red color you see on your plate only pops up when they hit the hot tub. When they're cooked. It's like they're revealing their true inner diva, only when the culinary spotlight is on them. And we all have birthdays, but lobsters have something even cooler: a no-aging policy. These oceanic celebrities seem to have discovered the fountain of youth, showing off a phenomenon called indeterminate growth. This means that as the years roll on, lobsters just keep getting bigger. They don't age, but the older they get, the larger they become. How cool is that? And have you ever heard of left-clawed and right-clawed lobsters? Well, just like we have our dominant hands, lobsters have their favorite claws too. These crustaceans sport a pair of claws, the crusher and the cutter. Just like you might favor one hand for writing or high-fiving, lobsters pick their favorite claw for crushing prey or cutting into meals. Also, in a world where survival of the fittest is the law of the land, lobsters have mastered the art of community. When the molting season rolls around, they become as tender as the feelings of a rom-com main actor. To protect their soft and vulnerable selves, they form groups that are like oceanic support systems, helping each other through the challenging molting phase. Let's just say they've got a secret shell is shedding, let's stick together club going on. When you see a lobster underwater, you might think that they're just waving their claws around, but these creatures are actually having secret conversations. And no, not through lobster whispers. They communicate using postures, movements, and even chemicals. Pheromones are their texting shorthand that conveys essential information like their size, gender, and even their readiness for some steamy romance. Speaking of romance, lobster love is quite the underwater affair. Lobsters engage in courtship that can last anywhere from a few minutes to several days, and when they're ready to mate, they stand belly to belly, embracing before tumbling over with the female on top. In a fascinating ritual, the male deposits a sperm package, called spermatophore, onto the female's belly. She retains the sperm for a while and performs the magical task of fertilizing her eggs, which she carries from 9 to 12 months or more. These female lobsters can carry an impressive range of eggs, typically between 7,500 and 10,000. When the timing is right, she releases thousands of tiny lobster babies into the vast area, giving them an exciting opportunity to grow up in the expansive ocean. Incredible, right? And guess what, fellow foodies? Lobsters are practically the Methuselahs of the sea. In the wild, these guys can live for decades. Some legends even claim they can hit the 50 to 100 year mark. No cap. I guess it's safe to say that lobsters might just be the real-life vampires of the ocean, minus the whole blood-sucking thing. But amidst all these amazing facts about lobsters, have you ever wondered how catching lobsters around the world involves a series of intriguing rules and regulations these days? Well, let's take a dive into this underwater world of permits, licenses, and limits that shape the lobster catching game. In the UK, if you're planning to go after velvet crabs, lobsters, or whelks, you'll need a limited shellfish permit, whether you're fishing from the shore, on a boat, or going for a dive. This permit is your golden ticket to the lobster catching adventure. When in Scotland, there are rules too, as any vessels aiming to bring in a haul of lobsters must carry a special license that includes a shellfish entitlement. But here's the catch. For those without this special ticket, the lobster haul is limited to a maximum of 5 lobsters per day. Now, let's head straight to the good old USA, where lobster fishing is a bit different. Several states in America, especially Florida, require lobster enthusiasts to have 2 licenses, which are the recreational saltwater fishing license and the spiny lobster permit, unless you qualify for an exemption. And the daily lobster limit is 6 per person, no matter if you're pulling them from the water or your imagination. Do you see why lobsters are quite expensive now? In fact, some regions in the UK, and quite possibly worldwide, have removed female lobsters carrying eggs from their catch list. And there is a trend emerging in the USA where certain eateries are slowly bidding farewell to lobsters on their menus, driven by concerns about their potential extinction. So, as we navigate the world of these lobster regulations, a series of questions come to mind. How do these rules impact the future of our lobster pals? Are these regulations ensuring their survival, or possibly putting them at risk? Join us as we explore this untold reality further. While our planet experiences warming and ocean shifts, anxiety fills the air. Yet, lobsters remain cool through it all, they've witnessed the full spectrum, from ice ages to monumental land transformations, and dramatic events that would put any blockbuster to shame. In a way, they're the ultimate survivors who have played a part in shaping the very earth beneath our feet. Amidst debates about what we humans are doing, lobsters tell a different story. While we buzz around with our short-lived goals, these crustaceans offer a reminder that life is bigger than our species. Their history reaches back to almost eternity, making our fleeting moments seem small in comparison. Their presence outlasts us all and extends far beyond the horizon of our lifetimes. So, the idea of lobsters outliving us might seem surreal, but it holds a semblance of truth. They've already withstood unfathomable changes. We, on the other hand, have only begun to grapple with the repercussions of our actions on the environment. Despite the human and culinary world scrambling to capture and consume them, lobsters exhibit innate survival wisdom. They don't just end up on plates like obedient prisoners. Nope, they are super smart. Even if they were Pokemon to be collected at will, there'd always be those crafty lobsters, slipping through the nets and traps to go back home. This spirited resistance against capture speaks to their determination and pledge to outwit our traps and schemes, showcasing their ability to adapt and survive. And there is no denying that lobsters have woven their stories into the fabric of our world. As we explore their past, grapple with their present, and ponder their future, one thing is certain: the lobster's journey is a tale of resilience, mystery, and a connection that spans the tides of time. So, whether you're indulging in a sumptuous lobster dinner or gazing out at the vast ocean expanse, remember that these remarkable creatures hold a story that's as enduring as the waves themselves. Now tell us, what other interesting facts do you know about lobsters? Kindly share your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to Foodiepedia for more interesting and foodie-licious content like this. See you in the next video.